This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to change the oil in a Dodge Dakota that has a 5.2 liter V8. So first thing under the hood, going to crack the oil fill. Sometimes it helps the oil drain quicker. Just leave it like that. Also going to pull out the dipstick. Then we'll go underneath the truck. And just for reference, the oil filter is on the back side of the engine there, close to the firewall on the passenger side. So there's the drain plug, and just up to the right, there's your filter. So first thing I'm going to do, take the new filter, check to make sure it's about the same size and possibly compare part numbers just so that I know that I have the right filter. Also want to check that I have the right oil. So looks good. So I'll start draining. So in order to undo this drain plug on these 5.2 liters, it's a 16 mil or 5/8. So I already cracked it loose. Now I can just unscrew it and let the oil drain out. So while the oil is draining, or once it is finished draining, you want to get onto the oil filter. So got this oil filter wrench, and it seems to do the trick. So loosen it up and unscrew the rest by hand, drain that oil, and then we can start putting stuff back together. So now it's just a little dribble left, so I'm going to plug it up. Not too worried about that. So I'll hand tighten it and then get it back with the wrench, and make sure to clean the area so that no dust holds on and you can see what happens. So I'm just going to fill up the oil filter first. This is a little trick I like to do. Pop a hole there, and then this will be for your air breather. It works better. So just fill up the oil filter. Give it a second to absorb all the way around. And then one thing I do is take a drip of oil, rub it along the seal. Okay, so that's good. Now we'll go install it. So there are sometimes people who say certain ways to keep this tight. I like to go hand tight and then try and crank it maybe a quarter more just to make sure it's going to seat on there. You want to be able to get it off when you go to change again. So next step is going to be to write on the filter the kilometers. So the process for filling the engine back up with oil is quite simple. Put the funnel right in there, fill it up, check it on the dipstick level, which is right there. Make sure to wipe off the dipstick each time. And then, even when you get it in the safe lines, you want to start and run the engine so it cycles through all the parts that don't have oil in it currently. So the oil filter and any of the oil galleries. So we'll start it up, cycle it, and then top it up. Okay, that's good. And also one more thing to check is underneath, check that it's not leaking. And we're good. So we'll top it up and then this job will be done. So you can see there, the bottom, 1.5 inches of the dipstick is wet, and then the edges of the dipstick always get some oil on it just because it runs in the tube. But you can see along there where the center is hollow, that's the line. So we're about halfway through the safe mark, so we're going to add some more oil, top it up, and then go from there. So you can see that safe zone, and right there where the oil stops on the dipstick, it's right at the top line of the safe zone. So we're all good. We'll pack it up and go run the truck. And to finish off, just tighten down the fill cap. There we go, one click on these, then it's done. One other thing to check is just to make sure that there's oil pressure. So that top right gauge shows that there's oil pressure, so you're all good.